Hello everyone, welcome to grade 6 ICT. So today we are going to start your unit number 1, the importance of computers. So let's see why we want to talk about the computers first. Why it is important to us, right? Okay, we will see now your chapter number 1 is about importance of computers, and we will see why it is important. Right. Okay, first of all, before we going to talk about the importance, we must know what is a computer means here. What do you mean by computer? Let's see what's a computer. So you already know this is a picture of computer. You can see it might be you may have seen these kind of computers. So you may have now using these computers, right? So you have seen these in the shops, in your school, or in your home, right? But we must see what is the meaning of a computer. So if you talk about a computer, it is an electronic device that manipulates information or data. So we are using the data for our computer. So that's what we are specialized in the computer. Not like other devices, there are so many other devices, but here it's a different. What is that? There's another thing. It has the ability to store, retrieve, and process the data. So those are the things we can see. Now, what you can see in the washing machine, you cannot store, you cannot process. In the oven, you cannot do, but in the computer, we can store, we can retrieve, and process the relevant data. All right? Okay. So before we go on to talk about the computer, you already know what are the things you can do from the computer. What kind of things you can do from the computer? Right? So let's see one by one. What are the things you can do from your computer? I think you like this one. Most of you like to do what? Play games. You can do play games, right? And you like to listen to songs or music. And another one, you like to watch cartoons or movies. There's another one, you can send the emails. Nowadays, we are sending emails rather than we are sending a letter, no? So we are sending emails to others easily through the computer. That's another one. We can draw pictures. I know you all like to draw pictures because you always like to draw with your computer. You can do a lot of things by drawing. So there are nice tools, there are nice softwares are there to draw pictures in your computer, like Paint, or there are some 3D Paint. So there are some other softwares. We will see that one a little bit later. Right, then the other purpose we are using the computer is to what? Make documents or to prepare documents like your letter, maybe your essay, or maybe your song. You can write that song, or prepare some papers for a teacher, or prepare an assignment. So we can prepare those kind of documents using our computer. We'll see more what are the things we can do from another computer. There are something we can do calculations as well. A computer is a processing device. It can process, it can calculate. When you give a question to computer, computer will provide you the answers. So there's a processing unit there, it calculates and gives you the answers. Then it stores the data. Now you can store your songs, store your pictures, store your movies. So for the storing purpose, also we are using the computer, especially like databases. Now you have a lot of information in a database. So those database are storing your data. Another one I think you like the painting, that's something called graphics. You can do graphics, or you can like to be a graphic designer. So graphic designers, so they can design nice posters, banners, and so many creative things using graphic softwares like Photoshop. Right? So there are so many, right? And you can create websites. You can create websites, and you can have another type of document like that. And like here, we can do the most of people now joining the online classes. So online classes are conducting through the computer system. So we need the electronic device, we need a computer to do an online class. We can do from the mobile, but mainly we are using a computer to do online classes. So due to that, the computer technology, we are now having online classes as well. Now that is the leading way, or the most popular one among the children and the parents and the teachers. So it's easy for everyone to do the lessons as well. Because of what? Because of this computer technology, the entire world has changed due to this technology. All right? Okay, let's see now. If you take a computer, there are some functions. There are some functions. If you take any system, there are three things. There are three main things in a system. One thing is we call the input. It's called the input. Then after input, we have to do something called process. We need to do process. Then after processing, we are getting an output. So if you take any system, there are three main components or main functions are there. One is its input, one is process, and the output. Okay, if you talk about our computer, what do we input to the system? What is the inputting? So you are inputting data. Input via data. So entering data into the computer is known as the input, and the devices which we are used for that, we call those as input devices. So we have to give instruction to the computer. Okay, enter this number, enter this name. Likewise, we have to give the instructions to the computer. So therefore, we have to use a special kind of devices for that purpose. There are so many devices in the computer, but those devices we consider as the input devices. Then after that, we input the data, it processes the data given by you. The procedure of executing data in a computer according to the instruction is known as the process. Now you are asking to add. So according to that, it add the numbers. If you put two numbers, we say 6 and 5, it will add 6 and 5 and get the answer. Then that result. Now you have given a question to the computer. Now it process. Now you got the answer. Now that answer should be displayed. For that purpose, we are using the output, or we are using output devices to see the result. The output is sending out after you process the data, and devices used for this purpose we call as output devices, like the printer or your monitor. So you can see when you put the question to the computer keyboard to the system, and it will process and it will show your results through your monitor or maybe your printer. So those one we can say, to take the system, the things we put to the computer we call as the data. Data we call raw facts. Those are we call the data into the computer system. Then once you put the data, it starts to processing. It starts to processing. Then after processing part has done, you are getting the result. So that result we are calling as information. Information. So you can see in a computer system, there are three main parts. It's called input, process, and output. So what we input to the system, those we call data, and it process and it gives you information. Right. So we will see next day, next time, what is the computer's work. Right? Okay. Thank you. We'll see you next time. The features of a computer. So last time we discussed what is a computer mean. So what is the data, what is the process, and what is the information. Now today we're going to see what kind of features make the computer so important to us. We will see what are the features of a computer today. If you say the first feature, we can say it's the high speed. If you compare with the human, so it's a faster machine than the human. So if you give something work to him, he will do the work quicker than the human. Right? So computers are capable of calculating huge amount of data. It means a large number, maybe a very complex calculation, like you can find the distance between the Earth and the Mars, distance between some galaxies. So those kind of calculations can do within quick second, within a few second time. And the computers can do millions of calculations in a matter of time, for which it's a simple person take a lot of time to do that work. A computer can do that work very well in a very short time. So that's what we call a computer having a high speed. So if you compare with the human, the computers are far ahead than the humans. So we can say one of the features of a computer is the high speed. Next one is the accuracy. So it's accurate. Now, if you give a question to you, if I give you 10 questions, sometimes you may do a 1 or 2 mistakes, right? So it's always, this computer gives you 100% correct answers, right? So we know now one feature is the computer is very fast. The computers are very fast as well as it's very accurate, everyone. Okay, so the calculations done by this computer is 100% correct, and the errors are is not available. Right? The computer work with 100% accuracy if they use the input correctly. It means if you give correct instructions, correct values, it always gives correct answers. The accuracy is 100% in a computer. Then we see the next one, the storage capability or the storage capacity. Now, if I ask you about, can you tell me 10 numbers, 10 telephone numbers? Can you tell me now? I think few of you may tell the numbers, but most of you are here may not be able to tell at least 2 or 3 telephone numbers, because you can't remember those telephone numbers. If I ask you what's your uncle's telephone number, your grandma's telephone number, or your what is your cousin in somewhere else telephone number, so you may not be able to tell me what is the number. So that's because of you can't remember those numbers. You cannot store in your memory. But if you talk about the computer, it can store a large amount of data here. Okay, it's a one of the biggest feature because we need less space to store data, but it can keep it in a small space. You can see in your school there are a lot of cupboards. Lot of cupboards are there to store your files. But we can keep those files details in a small computer or maybe a small laptop. Okay. So inside the computer we can store many types of data such as images, videos, text, audio, and so many files. Right? So there can be some of the documents you need to store. So that also can store in your computer. You need to store your songs or your videos or your cartoons. That also you can store in your computer. And the computers can store a lot of more data than the human. It remember a lot of things in the memory. Right? Then the diligence. What does the diligence mean, Buddha? The diligence means the computer never get tired. Now, for example, now if I give you 10 questions, you will say, sir, it's too tired, sir. Now, shall we do it at home? You will tell me like that. So, computers is never say that to me if I give questions. They will say, give me more question. I will do it. He never say, I'm tired. So we can give more work to him because he is not getting tired. So that we call the diligence. Right? So it says the computer never tired like humans. Computer can work continuously without stopping, without tiredness, and without any errors and boredom. So you all are know, I know, when you're coming to the school in the morning, you are so fresh. You can do any work. But when you come into the evening time, you are too lazy, no? You say, I'm tired, sir. Can we stop this one? Can we do it next day? Shall I do it at home? Likewise, so many questions asked by you. But the computer Buddha, it's not like that. It's always like to work, like to do work. Right? Computers can perform one or more tasks continuously with great accuracy and the same speed. For example, so if you take the Japan, in the Japan, they are manufacturing the cars using the robots. The robot will never say, I need to go to the lunchtime, I need to go to some rest. No. It always produce in the same speed. They produce the manufacturing speed in the same speed. So they can produce a lot of cars at the end of the day. Right? So you can see the computers can do many work at the same time. Right? Then the versatility. It's a computer is a very flexible machine and it's very easy to run. And computers is a machine whose are used for various areas to solve a wide range of problems as well. Right? So some might use for calculation and some might use for playing games. Versatility is there. And reliability. A reliable machine due to the large storage capacity and accuracy. And the computers are designed to make everyday tasks easier. So we use the computer to make our things easy. Right? And the automation. The computer is an automatic machine. The computer performs all its function automatically. This means once the computer starts the work, it does the work without any human intervention. So you do not tell it again, do it this, do it that. No. But first, okay, have you done this work? Have you done this work? You have to remind this. When you give the work for the computer, it automatically do until you say stop. So it automatically automation is there in a computer system. And it reduced the paperwork as well. It's reduced the paperwork. Now, in a big companies, the computers are used for reduce the paperwork. There are many such works which can cost more over time it works done by the workers. But time and money and saved by the doing the same work by the computer. So now, most of the time, now you can see your electricity bill are now sent into the SMS, no? And you can see your water bills are coming to SMS or to your mobile. Now all the things are now computerized. So all things are digitalized, or the digital world is there. Right? It's reduced the paperwork, no bills. It's coming to your email. So your telephone bill coming to your email. Now it's not coming by post. It saves the paperwork. Okay, reduce the paperwork. Okay, that's also done. But there are some of the limitation of the computers we need to talk about. Some are saying it says it's not intelligence. It cannot think like that. Now, when I give a question, you think and answer, no? As a human, you will give me, okay, sir, let me think a little bit. That's the answer, like that. So you can think and make a decision. You can make a decision yourself. And the dependency is there, and the no feeling. If you talk about the no intelligence, a computer is a machine that cannot take any decision on its own, due to which we have to do any work with the help of the computer. Then we have to tell the computer all the things step by step. Okay, do this one, do that one, like that. Okay, so therefore we have to do those. There's got no intelligence, but sometimes we are not agree with this one when you talk about the AI technology. When you talk AI technology, it's now far ahead than this. Now the computers can think and do it the work sometimes. Then the next one is the dependency. Computers depend on the human, because if we have to do any work with the help of computer, then it has to be explained step by step. Also, even if there is no electricity in the computer cannot work in this way. It depends on the electricity too. So if there is no power, there is no electricity, we cannot do the work. We cannot tell, okay, even he's better than a human, he cannot give the answer. Why? No power. No power means he cannot operate. Right? So dependency is there. And no feelings. Now, when I touch you, you will feel it. When I smile, you can see. You can feel that, okay, sir is smiling, sir is crying, sir is angry. You can feel that. But the computer doesn't have those feelings because it's a machine. Unlike human, computer cannot make decisions based on the taste, experience, and the knowledge. There is no emotion inside the computer. No feelings. It's just a metal. Right? The way we human learn from our experience, the computer cannot learn from the experience. Now, you are from the small age, now this age, you are learning by your parents, your teachers, your friends. So with the environment, you are learning something. From our experience, we know, okay, this is a dangerous place. This is a good guy. He's a bad guy. We can understand from our body languages. So that it's coming from our experience with us. We can feel it. But the computer, it cannot identify who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. Like that. So no feelings. Right? But there is a number of computers are available in Japan and some of the developing countries. Now they have identified facial recognition. They can identify. Now when you are happy, he can tell these things as well. But at the moment, we are telling they are having no feelings. Right? When you talk about the computer, there are some of the embedded computer systems are there. So embedded means it comes with the computer devices. There's some of the devices are there which combine with some kind of an electronic system there. Embedded one. So if you talk about the fax machine, there's one. If you talk about the traffic light system, so there's a computer system there. So it's work according to a program. There's a program there. According to the program, it shows the traffic lights. And if you talk the security system, CCTV systems, there you can find there is a system with the embedded. There's a part of there which join with the computer, and the printer in the microwave oven. You can see when you see the microwave, there's a small chip there, small program there. When you put a timer, it's within 15 minutes time, it's cooked. And the ultrasound machines, then the audio systems, televisions, smart TVs. So those devices are having with the embedded system. And you can see some of the examples here about the embedded. You can see the GPS system. So this GPS system will show the path when you are traveling, right? So when you see your car or vehicle, so when you say I want to go from Colombo to Gold or Colombo to Kandy, it shows the path. It's connected with the GPS system then, and with your digital watch and your players and your CT scanners, smartphones, your camera recorders, okay, your washing machine system, players, those are come with some of the embedded system. Another important part, it's about the components of the computer system. Right? So we want to identify what are the components in a computer system, or the what parts are in our computer system. So we will see now what are the computer parts or the components of a system. Okay, right. Let's see now what are the components of a computer system. Right, now you can see there are so many devices in a computer system. We will identify one by one what are these first of all. Then we will see what are the categories. We can divide these parts into the those system. Right? Okay, let's see the first one. What is this one? This is the monitor. This is we call the monitor. You can see from the here this arrow. Let's see another one. This is the one of the main device we need in the computer system. It's we call the keyboard. It's the keyboard. Another one we need is the mouse. We need a mouse. Now I'm also, you can see I'm pointing from here. I can point you from the mouse point. See, I can pointing. That's from my mouse. Right? We see another one. Here we call this is one of the main one. We call that the system unit. System unit. So we call that the brain of the computer system. And this part we call the system unit. Don't tell CPU. So I have seen so many of you are telling this as a CPU. That's not correct. The best one is word is used as a system unit, because the CPU is inside of this system unit. Remember that. You can see to get the sound. So you can hear the sound. Now you can hear my voice. So how can you hear this one? It might be from the speakers. So here we are using speakers for that. And you can see this is the printer. Here we take the printer to take the printouts. And you can see the microphone is to give the instructions or give the sound. That's also another device we can see in the system. And we have finally, it's the headphone. Now you maybe listen to this video through the headphone. So you are not disturbing to others. But if you put the speakers, everyone can hear and it will be disturbed to others as well. Right? So these are some of the major components of a computer system. Right? But we want to categorize according to nature. The components according to the nature of the function we have categorized into these segments. First one, input devices. Next one, output devices. Next one, central processing unit, main memory, storage devices, and communication devices. So likewise, we are going to categorize this one according to the function of that. So there are so many devices, but we are categorized into this. If you take the first one, we say what are the input devices? Input devices, we can say the devices that we use to send information or data to a computer to store it or to perform an operation. So we are using the devices to give instruction to the computer. So those devices we consider as input devices. Okay, we consider those as input devices. Let's see some of the input devices we are having. So what are the examples? The keyboard, one of the major input device. Another one, a mouse. Another one, a scanner. Next one, a barcode reader, a microphone, a joystick, a trackball, a light pen, and a web camera. These are few examples for the input devices. Right? So there are some other major one. So main one we have keyboard, mouse. If you take a computer system, any computer system, there's a keyboard, no? So there's a keyboard there. But there are some special like this barcode reader input devices are available in supermarkets, some of the shops, or some of the institutes to mark the attendance. Those are there, right? So let's see what are these pictures about. This is the picture of keyboard. You can see, you can identify. So you must be able to identify this picture. This is a keyboard. This is one of the keyboard. Then this is the mouse. This is an optical mouse with a USB. There are two kind of mouses are there. One is called PS2 mouse and one is called USB. This is a USB mouse. And it having two buttons and one scroll wheel. And we have this picture is a scanner. To scan your picture, scan your passport, scan some pictures and send to some other office or to someone else. So we are using scanners for this purpose. Another one is the joystick. So this joystick specialized for playing games. If you are a game lover, you must have this kind of a device. Because most of you are playing the games using the keyboard. When you are using the keyboard for games, that keyboard keys will damage or it will be broken. So you must be able to protect that. You can have is the best one is the this kind of joystick. So you can play car games, shooting games, any of them. So this is a picture of joystick there. Okay, this is joystick, and we have this is the we call the trackball. So trackball, there's a kind of a look like a mouse, but there's a big ball. It's rotating. So it's a kind of a mouse. When the ball is rotating, the cursor is moving. Okay, that's the trackball. And this is a web camera. Now you can see me through a web camera. Okay, so it comes to a web camera and it's recording this my images and my pictures. Right, so there we are using is to record purpose. Right, for web camera there. Then we can see is the microphone. It's to give you sound. Now I want to do a special recording or special announcement, or I want to sing a song. I want to put my song to my computer. So how can I give it? It's through a microphone. From this microphone, I can give my sound to the system. Okay, we can give it to that. And we can see another one is the barcode reader. I told you can find this one in the supermarkets. Right? Especially in supermarkets, you can find this one. as well. And this is the light pen. We can draw special kind of drawings there, right? So these are the devices considered as the input devices, right? So today you have learned what are the components of the system and what are the inputs of the system. Next time we will see about the output devices with the output devices today. So we are going to see today about output devices. So what do you mean by output devices? So we can say an output device is a hardware components of a computer system that displays information to users. So after you process the data, you are getting the output devices. So for example, you can see the monitor, printer, speaker, headphones, projectors, GPS system, plotters, we consider as some of the output devices. So you can see some of the pictures here. These are the output devices. This is the monitor, looks like. This is the printer. This is the speaker. And this is a headphone. And this is a projector. And this is a braille reader. And this is a plotter. So these are the devices which considered as the output devices. We will see next one as the communication devices next time. The next part is the storage devices in a system. So previously we discussed what are the input devices and what are the output devices of a system. Right? So when you send the data, when you send those data, there must be way to store this data. So we want to keep those data inside the computer. So there are some devices to store the data. So according to that, we can categorize the storage devices as internal one and external one. Okay, there are major input device. Here we have used the keyboard, as here we are using the mainly the what? The hard disk we consider as the major storage device. In a computer system, we are mainly store our data in a hard disk. So there are two kind of hard disk there here. There are internal hard disk, which is fixed inside your system, and there are some of the external hard disks which are outside the hard disk. Right? So you can see this is an internal hard disk, it's inside it. And if you take external devices like external hard disk, pen drives, CDs, and Blu-ray, we consider as the external devices. So you can see some of the pictures here. These are the internal hard disk picture. So you must be able to identify these pictures. This is a pen drive. Okay, this is an external hard disk. This is a CD, DVD. So those are the storage devices. And we need to communicate. We need to communicate in the system. So for there, we need the communication devices. So we can say the devices which are used to exchange the processed data and information are called communication devices. Right? So those are the communication devices. So some of the communication devices you can see in this picture. Right? So you can see there are network interface card. This is the network interface card. This is the network interface card. Okay. And this is the modem. This is the modem. This is a modem. And you can see a router. Okay. A switch and a hub. It's there. So these are the ones we are using for communicating. So exchanging, right? So we can see there we are using these communication devices. So these devices exchange the data between the computer. Okay, right. So next time we'll see what are the areas where the computers are involved.